welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with KetoSimple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Dustin. This is simple Sunday morning coffee. I have mine right here. Do you have yours? Let's take that first sip together, shall we? I've been looking forward to this all day for like an hour and a half. A little more than that because I'm a little late. Technical difficulties are always a thing when you're dealing with lives and all the fun things that go along with it. Mmm, delicious. Did you ever feel like you're getting things right again and bam, those old habits, that old self just tries to sneak back in? Or maybe you're putting yourself out there trying to help and someone comes along with a nasty comment like they know you better than you know yourself? Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit of that, and I just want this space to be real, honest, most of all human. I'm human. I'm just me. Those who've met me in person, I am exactly like you see here in person, maybe goofier in person. But whether you're just getting back on track or trying not to spiral from some troll's comment, for those of you who are creators here, those of you who put out content, those who may be watching this in the future who put out content, will understand the fact that community needs to help with those comments, and I don't mean policing the comments, clapping back at those comments, but making sure that the creator understands that those are one-off comments. Those aren't the general consensus of everyone who watches the channel. You're not alone, and we just have to keep communications open on how to move forward together. Because today, my friend Caitlin, she has a channel, not really a channel necessarily, but she does like the TikToks and the reels and all that stuff, and she has it's 599 to damn she fine, right? So she started almost 600 pounds. She's been on the channel before when I was doing the Sunday lives or the Saturday morning lives with guests. She was one of the latter guests that I had on, and basically the other day she got a comment that was basically like, well, if you weren't here there'd be more food for the rest of us. And like she's like crying and just truly emotional because sometimes those comments just hit you at the wrong time, the wrong place, and you may not be necessarily able to handle those comments. Now luckily for me and this channel, I don't see a lot of comments like that, not really at all. So, knock on wood or whatever it is. I know Chris sees some, he gets emails, and I've been there when he gets some, I've been at Chris's house when he's received some of those emails, and we talk it through. We make a joke out of it. You have to. You can't take it super serious because that's the worst thing you can do if you just truly let it get to you. And, I reached out to her directly and we talked about it. And I shared it on my Instagram stories the other day as well when that came up. And it's just one of those things like it's unavoidable with the internet, unfortunately. But together we can get through anything. Let's run through quickly at some of these comments. Evelyn left a comment over an hour ago. Evelyn, Evil Lynn, as you may know her. Oh, excuse me. I'm a little verklempt. Good morning, friends. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Yes, Chocolate Bunny Day is here with all of us. United Carnivore says, greetings from Tampa Bay. Happy Easter, everyone. Getting ready for my 3-week journey to the Philippines to renew my wedding vows. Carnivore will be a challenge. I may have to hunt and gather. In the Philippines, there's a lot of street food, there's a lot of cool things. Even as somebody who is normally relatively strict, except the last couple of weeks, we're going to talk about that. Getting started and there being stutter steps of getting back on track. I would say if I would get the chance to go to the Philippines, I would indulge in street food, regardless if it's keto or carnivore. Now, your mileage may vary, and I'm by no means telling anybody what they should or should not do. I'm just simply throwing out there what I would do because I've watched lots and lots of man versus, or not man versus food, but Andrew Zimmern, the Bizarre Foods. I loved Anthony Bourdain. I loved watching people travel. And when you travel, you want to experience all that those societies truly have to offer, right? And I would say that that is the food, the cuisine, what they actually eat. It's like going to the Chinese restaurant. Those of you who have eaten at Chinese restaurants before will know what I'm talking about. There's what they have on the menu, and then there's what the workers are eating. If you have a Chinese restaurant that's owned by Chinese people and not like Panda Express or something like that, but actual one of the little hole in the wall Chinese restaurants, and what are they eating? They're not eating General So chicken. But anyway, I digress. John Gugahan, the man, the myth, the legend, is in the house tonight, today, this morning, whatever time it may be. Good morning and happy Easter, Dustin. I love the thumbnail. You make a good looking Muppet. That's right, I do. I've been making Muppet caricatures for all the people that I can now. It's slow going for me. If you want one, reach out to me. I will help you make one, but I am currently unable to make them for a few more hours, probably 12 plus hours, just because I make them and then I use all of my little credits on Chat GPT. I don't have unlimited Chat GPT. That costs money, and I'm just using the free plan. So reach out and we'll see what we can do. And I'll see if I can get a queue going and get you guys some, or maybe if you want your own action figure. And I'm thinking about other things that can be done to kind of get it ahead of the curve there. So, Sharon Holloway's in the house. Sharon, my dear, I hope you are doing fantastic. Hope you're feeling better. I know you're getting plans in place to retire early or on time or however you want to look at that. Truly, truly glad for you. And I hope you enjoy it. And I'm glad you're here this morning with us, with me, because you mean the world to me. Just as Evelyn does. And she says, good morning, saying hello to people, or saying hello to United Carnivore. Main island, the Philippines, is beautiful. Fish is carnivore. Good luck. Yes. Saying hello to other people. Let's see. Karen Harrington. Good morning, all. Happy Easter. Shauna's in the house. Shauna saying hello to everybody but me. United Carnivores replying to Evelyn. We'll be landing in Cagayan de Oro, and then I'm not going to try to pronounce those words. I am not going to do it. Not going to do it. Can't do it. Not going to do it. But Jeff Fafa is in the house. Good morning, Jeff Fafa. Mr. Jeff Foltz. He's in the house. Sean is in the house. Mr. SD Bradley, another Fantastic person in this community. Super supportive, amazing. Happy Easter to you, my friend. There we go. Shauna says, "Good morning, Dustin. I have just one question for you, Shauna. Why are you awake? I will not understand why you're awake. It's so early." Oh, okay. You're going to go back to bed after. Oh, that's something. I might go back to bed after too. You don't know how this goes. I woke up a while ago for some reason. Thought I'd stay up and wait for this. Well, well, well. Look at you being the sweetest woman on the planet. Saying hello to me, hanging out with us. Miss your face. I hope you're feeling better, my dear. I know you got a lot going on. So much going on. Keep Shauna in your thoughts. All the things she's going through. A lot with moving and packing and doing all kinds of stuff. So be mindful and keep her in your thoughts. Cindy, the Demanch, is in the house. Happy Easter, everyone. Good morning, Cindy. I'm so glad to see you. Shauna says I was super busy beginning to move yesterday. I was in bed earlier than usual. I feel that. And Cindy's asking Shauna where she's moving to. Storage. So far, storage, eventually to a friend's, so I can resettle my life. Oh my goodness. 20 minutes where she's at now. These dang openers, like we haven't waited long enough. You know what? Sit down, simmer down, behave, or I'll tell Chris to put you in timeout. You hear me? You hear me, Pam? Shauna says, "Y'all don't faint. I'm chatting without coffee." No! John says he's enjoying coconut cream pie keto chow this morning. I don't know why that wasn't rolling off the tongue. It was just like caught there. I was like, coconut, coconut. That's how it was. Chandra actually liked it. Chandra tried it on our Tuesday live and liked it. Can you believe it? I don't. Shauna liked it cold. Oh, Cindy finally tried it. She tried it as a pudding. She tried it as a pudding. Something about the word pudding makes me nauseous. I don't know. I like pudding, but pudding. Hey, pudding. Brian is in the house. Mr. Brian, Fisherman Dish. Good morning and happy Easter. Well, dear, still chronic fatigue. Well, make rest up. I know that doesn't really help, but I don't know. I mean, just rest as much as you can. Oh, let's see. So I need to see how this works. Mix it to shape and then add gelatin, and then do you like blend it again? And does it make it like a pudding? What's going on? What's going on? Tanya's asking, "What is everyone cooking today?" I do not know. I probably will not be cooking anything, as all the kids usually bring their stuff over or eat before. I will probably cook something beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for Shander and myself tonight. I'm probably gonna make some like cheesesteak meat today, and maybe throw that over some eggs, maybe bake some bacon. You know how I'm trying so hard to keep back on track, but the track just keeps moving on me. So I'm not doing the best with that, and I want to be honest with all of that because that's just how this goes. Trying to see. There we go. Good morning, Dustin. Yes. I love you, Shauna. You're the absolute best. And Sharon said, "Retirement is for the nuclear world. I'll always still be doing my side hustle. Being a creator is a passion." Well, I would expect nothing less from you, my dear. I would expect nothing less. Andy Vacation is here. I'm guessing this is a test a test of the emergency anti-vacation notification system. She is probably in Colorado, I believe. Hello, Andy. I'm glad you could join us, dear. I'm just going to go ahead and venture out a guess that that's who I'm talking to here. A little sleuth thing on my part here. Shauna says, I'm happy to not have to cook. My brother is making barbecued pork ribs. Yes, we have missed you. Had to create another account to chat with my friends. It's Andy. Good morning, Andy, and I hope you are enjoying yourself. And Shauna says, since I don't have to cook, I'm just going to eat what the family brings. Sounds like a plan. Andy says, I have missed you, or you have no idea how much I've missed you. We've missed you like crazy, my dear. We've been gone like 2 weeks until last Sunday, and then Tuesday, and then today. But before that, it was rough just trying to not really have anybody to talk to. Really difficult. Talking to a 6-year-old the whole time. Happy Easter, Andy. Let's see. Cindy says, we are not having anything special today. Well, that's good. You guys just need to relax. You got a lot of bowling to do this week, hunting bowling. Andy says it's been okay, but my mother's a handful. Moms just be like that sometimes. Moms be like that sometimes. So I'm caught up with the chat. So let's go ahead and get back to some of the stuff that I've outlined for myself today because I like to make sure I have things planned to talk to you about. So basically, 9 years in for me, typically getting back on track has not been much of an issue. But like I said last week, and having the boys here, and there's a plethora of danger foods for me in the house. There's like cereal bars, like actually like Lucky Charms, those cereal bars made of Lucky Charms and stuff in the house. There's ice cream, like there's hot pocket things. There's just these bags and bags of like mozzarella cheese sticks, like the breaded ones. There's just so much through, and like like and and I know that, and it shouldn't be an issue for me. We've been doing this for so long, but then I get into my own head. I'm like, well, I can handle this, and I'll have a little bit of something. I'll have some chicken nuggets, or. And I made the other day. I know I posted some photos of the chaffles I made that were um hash brown chaffles with the keto chow with the baked potato, and those were gone. And like just that was like like that was 4 bags of the like the cauliflower rice stuff. The brand that was in the KPL bags for like 2 years in a row. I've been buying those before KPL, but I had 4 of those bags that I purchased. They're like 250 a piece at Walmart. And 4 of those bags, a bag of keto chow or a pack of keto chow, eggs, Parmesan cheese, salt and garlic powder, all wrapped up together. And then I threw them in my dash waffle maker, and they're so like you leave them in there for 10 plus minutes. Set a timer for 10 minutes and walk away. They're so delicious. And then I made another batch with frozen cauliflower that took like an hour in the oven. I made 48 like circle ones, and then I got so since Easter I got like one that's like 24 little bunny shapes, like just little bunny outline with the bunny ears and stuff. And I made a thing of those, and that was all of it. That was 4 bags of the great value Walmart frozen cauliflower. It was like 5 eggs, some heavy cream, the keto chow, salt, garlic, all mixed together and baked for like an hour. And then I put them in a bag, put them in the fridge. because it was late, late, late when I was getting those done. And then I had to put them into the air fryer to warm them up. And oh man, those are so good. So if you want to go and take that recipe that I made, I put it on my posts. It's the recipe that I made the initial chaffles, the waffles out of, the hash brown waffles, when Keto Chow first released the potato. And just don't add the pork rinds. I didn't add the pork rinds. I didn't have any. There was some on clearance the other day, but they had like maltodextrin and all this other stuff mixed in, and I was like, I don't need it even on clearance. Um and they do just fine without them. May not be as crispy or whatever, but they're so good. They almost like, because they were baked so long and then like put in the air fryer, almost have like a mashed potato consistency in the middle. Oh, they were good. I liked them. That if that doesn't sound like something you're into, then I understand completely, you know. And you know, I am wrong, according to Cindy. Most of the bowling is done for the summer. Well, how I dare not know your intricacies of your scheduling. That means you can be on our Tuesday lives then. No excuses. Shauna says, during the recent new life changing things, oh, my old habits creeped in. Eating for comfort is tough. Yes. And I understand, and it's one of those things you can't necessarily beat yourself self up over it, because it's either eat for comfort or lose your dang mind. What do you want to do? Like, I mean, you can lean on us and we're here for you, but there's hours and hours where you're by yourself. And I mean, it's difficult to keep those old habits from creeping in, because we're subject to that very same thing. And that happened to us for like 2 weeks, but the last month, really. I mean, really, outside of the month we did triple B and E, it's been, difficult. Triple B and E was a breeze this time, but getting back to it's a pain in the rear. So I understand completely, dear. And Andy's saying that her mother is 77, learning a new phone, a new high-tech car, and I'm the only one who's teaching her how to use them. Message with my brother and family today. Okay. Meeting. So that's meeting with her brother and family today. Well, that'll be fun, I hope. Brian Doyle's in the house. Good morning, Mr. Doyle. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Happy Easter. Let's see. Yeah, I never had to teach my mom smartphones. So she had a stroke in 2007, which meant that that's when the iPhones came out. So she didn't have one of those, but I got her those phones for the hard of hearing. Like they ring like they're loud enough to wake the dead. And so yeah, she had a few of those and different things like that, just so she could hear it and use it. And they were supposed to be easy, but not easy. Charlie is in the house. Good morning, Charlie. So good to see you, my friend. He says, good morning, Dustin and all. Well, thank you, Charlie. Truly appreciate you. Saw you on the live for a little bit last night. Um, that was cool. For whatever reason, the name of the live, the name of the channel I was looking at escapes me. I have slept since then. Um, and he says, no other choice, really. All things now are tech. Still has a family. Still has a family German, so she needed to learn a new iPhone and message with her family. Okay. Yeah, this is one of those things. Like, yeah. Oh, enjoy the time you have with your mothers, your grandparents. I know, I enjoyed like the time that I had with my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother was around a lot longer for me than my mother was, but When they go, it's rough. Cindy says, "Ding, ding, ding. You are not so right. I will be there in the chat Tuesday." Well, that's what I'm talking about. I hear you. I'm glad and ecstatic that you'll be there with us. Oh. So, Andy, what's up with the new this? Did you close your channel? What happened? Did you shut it all the way down? Why don't you have your other name? I don't understand. Maybe you can enlighten me a little bit. She's like, "Yeah, Cindy, I cry at the thought of not being able to help her someday." Yeah. Just caught Chris's beer batter recipe. Oh my gosh, can't wait to make some of things. He made corn dogs yesterday. And he says, "My brother is fun. I miss him the most when I go home." Shauna says, "I appreciate my mom. There's a strained history here. Mending childhood trauma is ongoing." Yeah, I mean, it's rough. And Shauna's happy to see Charlie, asking how he's doing. Are you coming to our May meetup, Charlie? It'd be really cool to see you, my friend. And are you going to Brett's? Are you going to Brett's meetup? I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to that one or not. We'll have to wait and see. So far, the job hunt has not been very kind to me. So, oh, coffee. So delicious. Okay. So it's like the return of old habits. And like what Shauna was saying is the fact that um, stress and and being kind of left, like the stress and all the change and everything can really trigger old behaviors. And then then sometimes shame and and all those things can kind of cause that to spiral out of control. And sometimes, I mean, really, and this may not be a very popular opinion, but sometimes just getting through what you're dealing with by any means necessary is kind of the best course. Is it always optimal? No. By having, there's no way that that's always optimal. Going off plan, going off the rails is not optimal, but sometimes just surviving is what you need to do. And yes, people would argue the fact that, if you stayed course, you would make getting through it so much easier. But at the time, it doesn't feel that way. And there's no real way to for someone on the outside looking in to say, if you just ate better, you'd feel better. And that's 100% true. But when you're going through all the things all at once, kind of you know, and like I said, I know it's not a popular opinion. It's not even necessarily the right opinion to have, but sometimes just giving in to things so you can make it through and not losing more of yourself than you already are. But, Shauna, you're here. We're all here. We all understand what we need to do to course correct. We're not new to this. We're true to this, and letting go sometimes just to get through the day is going to be, but the next day you just kind of have to pick it back up again and see what happens. And I understand what you're talking about with your brother and everybody coming over and whatever they make and making it easier for you so you don't have to cook. And I get it. That's the same thing when we have Sunday dinners and I've made something for Shander and I, and the kids come over and whip up like a whole big batch of homemade mac and cheese with 3 pounds of shredded cheese, and it's just the way it's just noodles and cheese. And then you realize you're 2 bowls deep and you're like, "Oh, I don't even know how I got here?" So, you know, but yeah, I mean, oh, and Andy says, "I don't have my personal phone. It's at home, so my accounts are two-factor, so I can't access them. I'll be home on Tuesday. Everything will be back to normal Tuesday night. Okay, okay. John Gugahan is out of here, leaving for church early to try and beat the crowds. Okay, get a good seat. Get a good seat. Happy Easter, my friend. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your day, my friend. We'll see you soon. Andy says, Mom discovered music on YouTube, so she's blaring Easter Christian songs through the house. You'll have that. You'll have that. Shauna says, all things considered, since November, I think I've done as well as I can. And you got to remain positive. Eva Lynn says, sitting for a few in between getting ready for church. We all have relatives in town, so we're going to Dad's church instead of ours today. Well, that'll be fun. Shander's at work. I'm here. The boys are getting ready to end their night of video games. They were still awake a little while ago, so I imagine they will be asleep here shortly. I've got to go and finish up the girls' Easter basket. I got to get a couple things to put into the little eggs. I don't know what it's rainy and crabby here, so I don't know if there's going to be any Easter egg hunts today for anybody. Mm. And he says, "Oh no, not the mac and cheese." Hopefully they don't. I mean, I don't know what we're doing tonight. I have no idea. They've been eating dinner at where they're living, and so I mean, it'll be what it is. And hopefully we'll play some games, have a good time. Jeff says, "I have had that week also." Yeah, I mean, it's just a thing. Like, and it's okay sometimes. The thing is, and I keep going back to consistency. Never are we going to be 100%. Never are we going to be 100%. If if you can be 80, 85% at the end of the year for the whole year, I would consider that a win. If you're 90, amazing. And if you're not, beating yourself up isn't going to make it so. We all deal with things how we deal with them. And not to say that we shouldn't try to continually grow and be better and learn and all those things, you know? And he says, I hope Trish comes into the chat. I need to ask her if her package arrived. Cindy says, when we were kids, it was nasty outside. My parents would hide eggs in the house. Oh. And then, like, come summertime, you'll find that missing egg. You're like, oh, look, you moved the couch out and found an egg. Shauna says, one of my good friends said, just think of everything you have survived. Fractured my back, small stroke in your left eye, perm loss of 85% of your vision, and then the loss of a job of 17 years. So explain that to me if you feel like it. Let me know. You said you lost the job, but you still work for the company. So I'm guessing that the person that you were taking care of, you no longer take care of anymore. Um, but you still have the actual job with the company. I was trying to remember what you said, so let me know if I've kind of got that right or wrong or whatever. Something better is coming. Yeah. Evelyn said, I made fudge out of the coconut cream pie keto chow and topped it with toasted coconut. It was so good. I would like to try it one of these days. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Sandy says, no, Dustin. They were smarter than that, LOL. Well, you know what? Not all of us are that smart, me included, okay? I am the lowest common denominator. That's why I don't understand why you guys come here and listen to me. It boggles my brain that you guys show up week after week, hang out with me, even though, I know what's going on. You guys haven't figured it out yet. You've had like 100 episodes or whatever, 50 episodes maybe to figure this out. You haven't. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but I know what's wrong with me. Oh. So my current client, yes, I will no longer be her live-in. Okay, okay. And it might be time to not be a live-in anymore. That's a lot. That's a lot of stress and toll on you. And he says, I have a donut cake keto chow in the fridge. Whoop whoop. I think I have one of those around here somewhere. I think it's like, I don't know what I have. I have like, I've got a fruity cereal. I got a cake donut. They're just in here from when I like, they send extra and I just have them in here when I'm talking about them. And they just sit in the chair behind me. Like I've got some of the salty pills here. Stacy and Ken are the best around. Good morning from OSU Hospital. I'm so glad you are here. I hope Ken is feeling better. Oh, excuse me. I'm glad he enjoyed the little things I made. So I made some turned a photo of Ken and Stacy into Muppets. I've done the same thing for Two Crazy Ketos as well as the Bears, myself, as well as the three of us from Keto Crusade, which there will not be an April edition of the Keto Crusade. Too much going on for the guys. We were hoping to try to do it tonight, but then it was Easter, and then Chris has stuff to do. And so he's got family in, and then next weekend, Victor's going to be camping. So we're going to be doing it on the 4th. So the 4th, so you'll get a May the 4th, and then we'll go into June. So we're missing in April. We'll do what we can to make it up for you guys. Truly unintentional to miss April, but as things go, they're very, very busy. Very busy indeed. Evelyn is asking Stacy how Ken is doing, and Cindy is parroting that. I think she wants a cracker. Let's see. Shauna says yes. I've had the confirmation basically that it is going to be a good thing for from many now. Let's see. The initial shock, anxiety is wearing off. I'm feeling good about it. Yeah. Getting through the initial ginormous change. I couldn't imagine because you were living there, right? So I mean, that was your house. So I mean, that's kind of a strange situation to think about too. Evelyn says the coffee has started. I need a coffee maker up here, or at least like a tea, like a kettle, so I can make more coffee. Because there's nobody here to make coffee for me, so I'd have to go and pause the live to go make more. So and it's just one of the things that like another one of the subjects I'm going to talk about is maintaining, building, and maintaining this positive community that we've worked so very hard to build and maintain here. Because you all shape the culture of this channel, this stream. What you guys watch, what how you interact is how we decide to do what we do. How that we make changes based on what you guys tune into. I mean, if nobody showed up, I wouldn't be doing a Sunday morning live, you know, and I'm glad that we all have the same thing. We don't really have much as way of trolls and such coming in here. Not no, not nobody really coming in with bad comments as we're doing this early. I mean, there is, I would say, zero tolerance to a degree. A lot of room for grace. We invite viewers to be accountable, be accountability partners, not critics. Call to act. And let's choose to build something better. One interaction at a time. But you know, it's just one of those things. Like without you guys, there is no me, and I'm very happy to have all of you here. So you've lived with this lady for 17 years? Is that normal? I don't know, like I don't know at all like what you did. So was this medical service? Was she like invalid? I mean, and I know maybe there's probably, not a lot that you can say, but I mean, we don't need details, but, like, it's just one of those things. I'm just curious. That's a long time to live with somebody else who isn't family who you're getting paid to take care of. And then you're getting living expenses and all that stuff taken care of. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it would be nice to have a bathroom in here, at least a urinal or something, but I don't have that. This does not have an ensuite, even though like the bathroom is like right behind me. Like the bathroom is like right there, but on the other side of the wall. So Stacy says that he is healing slowly. He is MPO, so he's not getting coffee this morning. Ugh, rude. Mm. I thought he was sitting on the throne every Sunday morning live. Do you hear any echo? I can. Over on that wall over there, there's no curtains, there's nothing, it's just bare wall. So I hear sometimes when I say something loud in that direction, but back here, it's dampened. But if I go over there, it's very echoey. Shauna, walk tall and carry a blue wrench. That's right. So she's mentally ill with for in 24-hour care. I see, I see. As a live-in, I've been night shifts. Someone comes in the house during the day and handles her during the day, or would handle her during the day, and then you would just be there at night, but you still get to live there. That's a strange environment. That's just kind of, I mean, not that's I don't know. That's weird. I didn't know it was like that. Brian said, "That's what I thought." Echo, echo. Oh, I will. I'll have another cup of coffee before the day's out. I will have coffee for Ken. He better hurry up and get better. He better be better by our meetup. You guys have meat stock coming up and all that stuff. And Shauna says, yes, day shift. Let's see. Shauna says, not a lot of companies have done it this way, but my boss all these years felt it was more consistent for the clients who require the 24-hour care to have one person at night. Yeah, yeah. So when Chandra was in nursing school, she was she was doing the in-home healthcare. There were some like overnight ones and some early, like the day shift. There was like all 12-hour shifts. It didn't pay well at all. I think, this was like 2011, 2012. She's making like $9 an hour to be in somebody's house and basically just do whatever they needed. And yeah, that's crazy. And, you know, and like even when she got her RN, they wanted to maybe give her like $11 or something. I was like, no, now I'm an RN. Why would I not? You make way more than that. You know what I mean? You've had Saturday nights off basically this whole time. Oh, that's cool. Lisa Ortega. Happy Easter to you and James. Yeah, Stacy says they're booked for meat stock first. So you better get well for meat stock. Don't worry about being late. I was late. It's fine. It's fine. Andy just made her coffee. Let's see. I'm sticking to Eastern time, even in Colorado, so I don't have to adjust again when I go back home. I love being in Colorado. Colorado Springs is gorgeous. Going to Manitou, you know, all that fun stuff out there. Garden of the Gods. Oh, beautiful. Sherry Watkins is in the house. Good morning, all. I am in such pain this morning. My legs feel as though I have been in an accident. I messed up yesterday and was attracted into buying some freshly fried shrimp from Publix. Hard reminder. That's crazy. That's crazy that some things like that can be so impactful. But it is kind of a harsh reminder to some of us, like, certain things will bother me. Like if I have certain things, my finger joints will bother me, or my legs will bother me. And there's some things that don't bother me at all, but they may have used to. And, you know, pretty crazy. Brian is asking, has anybody heard of biltong? Yes, biltong is a South African beef jerky. That's where it originates from. At least that's the word biltong originates from South Africa. From my understanding, I could be slightly or fully incorrect here. But biltong, it's almost like beef jerky that has like a it almost seems like chewing tobacco because it's like shredded and it's very like wispy almost. Like it's dry, but it's like the tender, like the tendons are still kind of connected a little bit, like the fat or whatever. There's very little fat, I should say, but it's very like almost like meat doilies, almost, if that makes sense. It's very you can get biltong here. I know my Walmart sells it. Aldi here sells it. It's usually the cleanest of the beef jerkies, typically. I mean, it may not be fully clean, but at least it's zestfully clean. And um, but yeah, it's not as usually laden with stuff like regular beef jerky. So biltong, it is drier. You're gonna chew on it for a while sometimes, but it's pretty good. Yeah, Brian, yeah, parroted what I was saying. So yeah, he had said this. He's like, yeah, it's a South African type of jerky made out of steak. Uh, Karen Harrington is in the house. Off to church. Happy Easter. Well, thank you. Be safe. Sean is asking Shauna, do you have any scrapbook retreats coming up? Do tell. I bet there's some juicy things going on those scrapbook retreats. And Evelyn is saying biltong is a dried meat, a way to preserve meat. Aldi sells it. Shauna says, Sean, funny story. I do. First weekend in May. It was paid for. I was worried about hotel expense. Then learned I had prepaid that as well. Look at you being ahead of the curve. Yes, that is awesome. Look at that. National Scrapbook Day weekend, first weekend in May. I must celebrate. Hoping to work on that album for Brian, Jen's husband. Oh my goodness, yeah. I reached out to him the other day, sent him a text. Let me make sure I actually sent that text. Because sometimes I feel like I send a text, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. Yeah, I texted him Friday. I never expect him to reach out to me too fast. You know what I mean? He's gonna do what he's gonna do, and he's got his own thing going on, and hopefully he comes. I did invite him to our May meetup here, and hopefully he comes. It would be really nice to see him, and I think it might be good for him. It might be emotional, definitely be emotional, because we didn't really get much foreclosure as far as that's concerned. There was no funeral, nothing to go down to or whatever. And hopefully there's a celebration of life. We're given it enough notice that some of us can make it down there. I would love to make it down there for that. I'd like to not miss that, you know? Evelyn says, Shauna, that sounds fun. I just found out that there's a free scrapbooking event every Friday in my hometown. I'll be joining as soon as school's out. Oh, scrapbooking sounds so much fun for you guys. Not for me. Not what I'm into. Yes, zest fully clean. Yeah, Aldi be having the biltong. I don't know if I've tried it. Maybe I have. Maybe I have. I can't remember. Shauna says, as I pack, I am making sure my usual crafting supplies are close at hand. Yes, yes, yes. Sean said Zest was the only bar of soap the Navy would let you buy because it was the only one that doesn't leave a film. The commercials are true. Oh, that's crazy. So the Navy was zestfully clean. In the Navy. Shauna said, LOL, while packing up my room yesterday, my niece found the only bottle of wine I own. It's called Scrapbook Wine. I bought it like 15 years ago, so it's probably awful, gross, disgusting, terrible, no good. I don't know. I don't know about wine. Does it last 15 years? Where I'm moving to my good friends, we are both lifelong crafters. Oh, you guys are going to have some crazy parties. Let me tell you what. Crazy, 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 y'all. It's been a week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crafters of all ages. You don't like wine, but live in the wine capital of the United States, maybe the world. And like me, I don't like racing. Well, not that I don't like racing, but I live in like the racing capital of the world. And I know some people might argue that with me. I've argued that with some people who live in other countries. But I mean, we have the Indy 500. We have what used to be called the Brickyard, whatever it's called now. And I live across from a racetrack that does the nationals, the big dragsters, the funny cars, all that fun stuff. Brian said, Aldi near me doesn't have it. That is so weird. So weird. So weird. And Sean says, on another positive note, Shauna, you won't have to put up with the music festival this year. Oh, so true, Sean. Like we live across the street from a big drag strip, so like in the summertime, it'd be 1 a.m. and you're and then there's random fireworks. And I like, well, oh, and we're so close, you hear the booms. You're like, what's even happening? Oh, you know? Is the music festival Bottle Rock? It's like down at Fraggle Rock. Down at Fraggle Rock. Let's see. Is there a Bottle Rock? Let's see. Let me see. Bottle Rock Music Festival. Let me look at this up. May 23rd to 25th. Tickets on sale now. One-day ticket, $233. 3-day ticket, $456. There's not even any like who's playing yet. Lineup. Oh, hey, Green Day, Sublime, Public Enemy, E40. Story so far. Let's see. I would be cool to see Green Day if they played the Dookie set. Sublime would be cool. They've got the original vocalist's son in the band now. He's older. Justin Timberlake is on the Saturday. Ice Cube, Four Non Blondes, G Love without the special sauce. It's G Love and Donovan Frankenreiter. Kate Hudson, I didn't know she did anything. Oh, there must be some comedians because Rob Schneider. Um, let's see. Sunday, I don't know, there's a bunch of people I've never even heard of. Cage the Elephant is playing. Yeah, I don't know anybody on Sunday. Not much going on as far as I know. Like there's like Green Day, Sublime, Public Enemy, E40, who's like a 90s rapper. And then that's about it for Friday. Justin Timberlake, Ice Cube, Four Non Blondes. And that's, I mean, I know who G Love is, but usually he's G Love in the special sauce, not G Love and Donovan Frankenreiter. Yeah, then like Rob Schneider. That's Bob Schneider, not Rob Schneider. That's not even who I thought it was. So yeah, I don't even know what's going on with this. Like none of this sounds good to me, especially not for that amount of money. Crazy pants. Crazy, crazy, crazy amount of money for that. You get to sell a small child. Yeah, you got to do that more than that. Yeah, that hurts the prices. Yeah, for sure. Andy says 5 minutes behind since I called Susan. Mom announced she's going to church. I'll be keeping the house safe from monsters and zombies. That's always a good idea, you know? Yeah, G Love with no special sauce. I'll tell you what. Brenda Foley is in the house. Yes, 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 indeed. So glad to see you, Brenda. Thank you for joining us. Happy Easter. Sean says, that's why I like about festivals like Louder Than Life because you can get as close as you want as long as you don't mind getting swallowed up by the pit. I mean, I've never been really all that worried about that. Just the idea of being there like 3 days trying to see like there's like 200 bands and you're like, how do I even navigate? It was like I remember going to like Warp Tour back in the day and you get a list when you walk in who goes on when on what stage and you're like, how do I get from these to then the bands you want to see might be playing at the same time? Man, it was crazy. Uh, I appreciate you. Happy to you and yours. Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, we are an hour in, ladies and gentlemen. Just an hour in. Oh. So, we know that some of you have had issues this week. Has anybody had any wins this week? Let's talk about the positive. How many wins? What wins have you had? What's going on in your life? Talk about it. There's plenty of you here. There are 53 people watching across three platforms. I am no longer streaming to YouTube or no longer streaming to Facebook. I'm streaming to YouTube, X slash Twitter, and Rumble. I think I have like one person watching over on Rumble right now. 30 people watching on X. If you're watching over on X, come on over and say hello. Send us a message. Tell us who you are, why you're watching, and join us. We would love to have you. Yeah. you know. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for that, my friend. Kind of a slow Sunday. Kind of a slow Sunday. I kind of figured this might be the case with it being Easter Sunday. Um, I'll be here all day by myself. I mean, like I said, I do have to go to the store a little bit, and after a while, to finish out her Easter basket, you know. Ash Taylor, the beautiful Ash Taylor, her puppy dog Mel, and I am sure that Chris is not far behind. Probably making the coffee because he does all the good things. Shauna says, okay, something good. I have so many friends, family helping me and supporting. Makes a girl feel loved. Well, that's the way it should be. Because you are loved. You are loved. Shauna, you are loved. People saying hello to Shauna. Sean says, well, I'm retiring from my job after 27 years. I start my new job on June the 2nd. I will be able to work remotely from time to time so I can go down and help with my dad from time to time. Well, that's fantastic. Because you're an engineer, aren't you? Am I mistaken in that? I think you're an engineer. Pretty interesting stuff. That's good. Now, are you going to be able to travel more with some of those, like with those remote days? Can you travel? You're going to be able to come and hang out. You're going to have as much vacation time. Is there kind of like more room to kind of go and do this, that, and the other that you want? Is it more of a part time? You retiring to go back into full time work? These are questions. And Chris answered my question. He said, I am correct. Oh, he says, hello. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. He says, hello, my bearded brother, friends, and happy Easter. Welcome, Mr. Chris Cook in Nashville. Chris, my buddy, he is the best. And he is making coffee. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's coffee. People are saying congratulations and saying hello to everybody. Brenda said, I had run out of salty. I've run out of salty Coco Loco. All that I feel keeps my nightly leg cramps able to put subscription in on my HSA account. That is amazing. I no longer have an HSA account. I had one that lasted me for about 2 years after my job kind of left me in the pandemic. But that I had enough money saved up in there that I was able to kind of do what I needed to do for a bit. Sean says, I am an engineer. I don't have a degree, but I have over 20 years of design experience. Fantastic. See, I think for some things, like a degree is, for all intents and purposes, really relatively unnecessary. And I know that a lot of companies want a degree. I think they want a degree because it shows that you're able to do things that they want, or you're able or willing to do things like finish papers and do all that. I don't think necessarily degrees teach you what the job needs. And maybe some specialized degrees like nursing and doctorates do, but I think the focus on like a 4-year college is a little over. That was one of the things that I didn't even try to go to a 4-year college. I didn't try. I did try to get a scholarship to a technical school, and obviously that didn't work out. I knew I wasn't gonna be smart enough for that. But I tried anyway, and then I just went to work at a warehouse and worked there for 9 years. And then with that experience and time on the job, I went and got a job at an insurance company and was there 12 years. And then with that experience, went to the next job, and I was there for about a year, almost a year and a half ish, a little more than a year and a half, and then basically, things turned out the way they did, and I was home with the girl for a number of years, and now I'm trying to find another job, and I have the train driving job, but I haven't been taking any jobs for a while because they're just not stable. They're not I have no control over how long I will be doing it. So that's just an issue for me, and we've got a lot going on. So, you know. See, and this is and I want to touch on this. I want to maybe talk on this a little longer than I should, but Ash nails it here. Coffee equals happiness. And I think when we talk about happiness, we look at grandiose things to make us happy. Like a new car makes you happy, or going on a lavish vacation makes us happy. But realistically, we should be looking at the small day-to-day things. Like for me, sometime, like on a Saturday morning, a cup of coffee in the dark with no one here or no one awake with me, like Chandra's out of the house. I've made my coffee. I'm sitting downstairs in the dark before the sun comes up, enjoying my cup of coffee. That is happiness. That little bit of time, like, when we're right before we go to bed, where, Shannon and I are hanging out and we're talking about our days, or we're watching some TV together or whatever, like last night, she got in and I made her some food, and we were just talking and joking. That's happiness. Happiness doesn't have to be grandiose. Happiness doesn't have to be always advancing, having lots of money, like just a cup of coffee. And like, with Ash right now, her happiness is a cup of coffee sitting next to, Mel. Mel's curled up probably on the other couch or right next to her. And then Chris, if Chris hasn't made her mad this morning, I mean, whatever. But that's happiness. Even if he did make her mad, it's still happiness. You know how couples are, spouses. I make Shander mad all the time. I don't even know I'm doing it. It just happens. I'm kind of an expert at it. But but that's happiness. Happiness is Sunday mornings, cup of coffee, the Bucky's mug with you. All of you. The fact that you guys decide to spend your mornings with me week in and week out. You come here and you talk with me. You keep me company. You kind of keep me on track. You keep me mentally stable. You really do. That's happiness. And Sherry said, Chris, I just saw you had a corn dog video. Looking forward to watching it. Good morning to you and Ash. Yes. Brian says, well, Wednesday was my birthday, 59 years old, 7 months of extremely high ketones, has not boosted weight loss, and I think I will be starting, let's see, to microdose Z bound to see if that works. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe elaborate on that for me a little bit. Shauna says, since I plan to go back to bed after this, I have not made coffee yet, but you bet it's set up so I can do a push of a button. Yes, yes, yes. So for me, I don't even have a coffee machine anymore. So I've just got a tea kettle. Luckily, it holds enough for two coffees. It's like a 14 ounce. I don't know. It's more than 14 ounce. Couple of quarts. I don't know, but it holds like I can make two of these with it. So it's a 60 ounce. I might need to invest in a bigger one, but it boils quick. And if I need to, I can add more water and keep it on. And then we just use the Nescafe instant espresso. I wish it wasn't so expensive, but it's still kind of cheaper than the Nespresso pods we were using. So really, it's not so bad. Really, it's not so bad. I channeled Luigi there for a minute, or Mario. It's me, Mario. Sean says, I feel kind of bad because my son just started down at the plant and now I'm leaving. Well, he had to come in and hold down the fort for you. And one of my first job I got was at Steak and Shake, and I got a job. I got a Steak and Shake that was far from my house, um, because that's where my cousin and my friend worked. I go and I get on there, and we worked together for maybe a month. I can't remember. It's been 100 years ago. Maybe a month, and then they go and they switch and they go to one even further up because we were like 71st. And they went and got a job. They went and switched to one at 86th Street. It was a newer restaurant, newer Steak and Shake. Because one I was at was old. It barely had a drive-through. I mean, it was like one of the ones that had like in the front. It was like didn't even look like a Steak and Shake really, but it had like that long thing in the back that like used to do like the drive-in style where like the ladies would come out on roller skates. You know? Yes, Legacy. People sang hello. Brian says, I seem busier than ever. Can't figure out how I got everything done before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cindy's being a hater again. Cindy says, Ash Taylor coffee is not happiness. Rude. This is Sunday morning coffee. Watch where you at. I know where you live. Not really, but I'll find out. You'll forget and give me your address. Oh, let's see. Risa. Risa's cluttered kitchen. Ghost morning ask. Hanging out for a while. I have work earlier today at 11 a.m. Oh my goodness. I'm guessing she means good morning all. Okay. Yeah. Happy belated birthday, Brian. Yeah. People saying happy birthday. And Ash says, agreed, Dustin. We get up every morning and cuddle with Mel on the couch, and Chris makes us coffee, and we usually start a day with the devotions and prayer time. Then we make a plan. That's the way to go. Make a plan for the day and go from there. It's my favorite part of the day. I agree. Just kind of like that's so basically what happens is so on the weekdays, the girl comes over, mommy drops the girl off. We go back for a nap about an hour and 20 minutes or whatever for a nap because it's not quite time for her to be up and moving yet and she doesn't seem like she gets enough sleep. She's tired. So, get her to sleep. We get her up, take her to school, then we come home and we have our coffee. Hour, have our coffee about an hour because I make it. Usually make her some breakfast, some eggs, something like that. We sit down and enjoy our coffee. We watch a little bit of TV. We've been watching Just Shoot Me, that old 90s show with, I can't think of his name right now. You guys will tell me. You guys will tell me in the comments. The little blonde guy from SNL. He was in Joe Dirt and all that stuff. Hilarious actor, you know. Yeah. Brenda says, "You see Chris and Miriam." She said she tells him, let's see. Let me see make sure I understand what this is going on. You see Chris and Miriam. She said she tells him you said this, but I heard this. Then he knows he hurt her feelings, thinking that's awesome. But that's the thing is sometimes what you say isn't what they hear. And what you say and what your intentions are isn't how they perceive it. And without open communications, you don't know. Like I remember it's one of those things. Like so, I had a friend. I had some friends that were dating, and they're sitting in front of me, and I didn't know her very well. But I met her sister for the first time that night. She'd come over where we were, and I was like, "Oh, your sister's really pretty." And she took that as, "Why are you so ugly? I can't believe you even leave the house. Why, you're like a bridge troll." And I'm like, they're both yelling at me, like my friend and his girlfriend. I'm like, time out. I just made an observation that your sister's pretty. I didn't say that you weren't. But that's the thing is people hear what they want to hear, what they've conditioned themselves to hear. And that's the thing. Like sometimes you say with all the best intention, and Shannon and I have this issue too, where she's like, "Are you trying to pick a fight with me?" And I'm like, "Are you insane?" I never tried to pick a fight with her. The only things we ever really argue about are silly like things, like non-important things. Like when it comes to truly, truly important stuff, we're almost always on the same page. We talk everything out, you know? Shauna says, not only do I have a coffee pot at home, I have a 5 cup coffee pot I take with me to scrapbook retreats. I don't do hotel coffee makers. Nope, no way. I understand that. And being a coffee snob is okay. I do not because if it wasn't for how good the Nescafe instant espresso is, we would have gone and spent probably a couple $100 on a new coffee machine. It's good enough, and hopefully they keep making it. And because there it goes, sometimes where it's hard to get, they don't have any at Walmart. Then I try to go to like Kroger or whatever, and it's like it just keeps getting more expensive. It's dumb, but but good coffee, bad coffee's bad. I mean, it's all coffee. Coffee and pizza are kind of like they're like there's no such thing as bad pizza, but there's bad coffee. But you'll drink it anyway. I mean, unless it's super duper bad, which is not too often. Scott is in the house. Platte River Keto. Good morning, my friend. Happy Easter. Glad to see you out here. Glad to see you here. How are you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. And darn proud of it. I accept. I'm a coffee snob too. I'm the one that's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the bar for beer flights, or I want to go. I want to go out with some friends on a Saturday and go and get espresso flights. I want to go to different places and try out their espresso and come home buzzing and vibrating. That's what I want. That's what I want. Lisa says, "Sorry, I'm quiet. Making some hard boiled eggs to make some deviled eggs for dinner. I have to go to the store. I don't have any white eggs. So I got to go get at least a dozen eggs. Well, I mean, I've got some. I can pick and choose through my fresh eggs and see what white ones I have. But I got to boil some eggs for the girl so she can color eggs tonight if they come over. I'm just waiting on confirmation if they're coming over. So I don't want to boil eggs and she not be here to color them. I mean, we'll eat them, but still. Ash says, "Huh, Cindy, we love you even if you don't drink coffee. Just more for us. I'm getting to wonder about this Cindy lady. I don't even know if it's worth it anymore." Shauna says, my brother and his girlfriend were recently in Bali. That would be fun. I was kind of wouldn't mind going to Bali. Later today, I will actually try that poo poo coffee. Stay tuned for my Facebook post. Oh, so the coffee that they run through the animals first. I'd be willing to try that. Yes. She said, all is what I meant. And Cindy said, so true, and you can have it all. LMAO. I love you, Shauna. She said it's going to be the only shitty coffee I will try. Literally. I love the part in the movie Bucket List where Morgan Freeman tells Jack Nicholson how they harvest the coffee beans. That's crazy. Yes, David Spade. Yes, David Spade. David Spade. I'm glad you guys are here to be my brains when my brains don't work. Sharon is out of here. Sharon, have a great, wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you, and we'll see you real soon, okay? All right. Evelyn says, "Nope, not for me, Sean. I'm trying to wean myself off of coffee before the low carb cruise. I love coffee, but not cheap coffee." That would be an expense on the cruise that I mean, I wouldn't, like you're on a cruise for like 5 days. I would set aside the money to buy coffee on the cruise. Like, I'm sure they're gonna have like coffee shops where you can buy like barista style coffee. I would not go on a cruise. To me, like I would be so ecstatic to get up and go sit on whatever side of the ship the sun's coming up on and have coffee every morning. I would like if we did that, if I ever get a chance to go on a low carb cruise or one of the 2KK cruises, I want to be up in the morning, coffee in hand, deck chairs, watching the sun come up over the ocean with the people that I care about. I think that would make a cruise, that would be the pinnacle of a cruise for me. Anything else would be the icing on the cake. Just sitting with people that I care about, watching the sunset or the sunsets too. I mean, you don't really drink coffee over sunsets, but the sunrise, coffee at sunrise, maybe sunset with some good friends as well. Oh, it'd be amazing. That's what I'm talking about. I want to be able to do that, and hopefully I get a chance to one of these days. Ash says, Chris and I are really blessed to be a team in all we do. Hardly ever fight. However, if a man made you carnivore corn dogs, could you be mad at him? I mean, no. He made me carnivore mashed potatoes and waffles. I think he's fond of me a little bit. I don't know. I he makes good food, man. I'm telling you, like, whew. Mm. Shauna says, I'm not a coffee pod person either. Just not strong enough for me. Yeah. I feel that. Evelyn says, I'd take funnel cakes over corn dogs. Well, he makes those too. He makes those too. So, it's just fine. He has those as well. Yeah, like that's the thing is like we were going through 5 pods, 5 Nespresso pods for each cup of our coffee every day. So realistically, those were like 25 cents a pod. So a dollar and a quarter per cup of coffee every day. We weren't really coming in under two by too much every day. It was just convenient. We didn't have to go anywhere to get it. Lisa's got lots of eggs. Sydney says, You are always at the store, Dustin. Make lists, plan ahead. You know what? Going to the store is like the only reason I ever leave the house. So it's a chance for me to get out of here, go away, do something. And it's different stores. I go to Costco, I go to Walmart, I go to Aldi, I go to Kroger. I go for different things. No store has everything that I want. And I usually will go to Costco. I usually go to Costco at least twice because we have 2 cars. And I go and I put gas in the cars. And I fill up at Costco because I'm saving a quarter a gallon, and I may need to go there for something anyway. So, it's what it is. But you're not the boss of me. Sean says, after years of drinking Old Milwaukee's best light beer, my taste buds were forever ruined from tasting good and bad drinks. Ugh. Risa says, I tried to buy a bag of Pete's decaf at ShopRite last night. Normally $7.99 to $9.99 a bag. Last night it was $12.99. I refused. I bought the generic for $6. I make decaf after work every night. So that's the thing. So the Nescaf instant espresso that we buy is like $7 a container. But then they also have a decaf. So if we want espresso at night, we want the decaf. it's 8 something a container, but it's very rare that we need that, so we don't know. I mean, like the other night I wanted a coffee, but I made a chocolate keto chow, hot chocolate keto chow instead. So that hit the spot. Oh, it's so good. Hot keto chow hot is the way to go. I need to try it the way Cindy does and put in the gelatin and let it cool and then see if I like the texture. It's got to be the right texture. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Yeah, that's like so. David Spade has a podcast. I haven't listened to it yet. Let me look it up and see because I think everybody has a podcast except Louis C.K. doesn't have a podcast, which I thought was weird. Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade every Wednesday. Following that one now. There's a couple different ones. They have Fly on a Wall and then Superfly. There's Superfly and then there's Fly on a Wall. So they have two different podcasts under the same name. So that's okay. And they have guests sometimes like Dan Soder. I just love like Andrew Schultz. I'd listen to that. I love comedians. Comedians are some of my favorite things. I listen to there's the Disney Dish with Jim Hill. That's good. Um, Main Street Magic, the Main Street Dish, Song Exploder was such a good one. I like that one a lot. Two Keto Dudes, but they don't make that anymore. Two Crazy Ketos don't even do theirs anymore. They're just too busy. But yeah, Shauna says the coffee they deliver to your cabin is actually not bad. I can't wean myself off a coffee that would be like cutting off my life support. I will do it for fasting. I will cut off coffee for fasting, but I prefer to have coffee. I would pay. I would buy a drink. I would buy the soda package. I think with a soda package, you get the coffee, right? You get all the coffee you want. Like I don't know if that works with like the good coffees. I don't know. I've never been on a cruise, so I don't know. I highly doubt that. So she's saying I assume 2KK will serve 2KK coffee. They sell it now. Has anyone tried their coffee? I haven't tried it yet. I may need to buy a bag just to kind of see what it's all about. I do have a French press I've never used. So, yeah. Andy is asking, has anyone seen the movie Wonder with Julia Roberts? My mom and I watched it Friday night. Very sweet and cute. Last night we watched game shows. Quality time with mom. It was good. I have not seen that movie, but I know it had like this. That was like a special needs kid in that movie or something like that. I can't remember. It was something about it. Started trying to watch. I used to watch the first episode of White Lotus on HBO. I'm not sure. It's kind of a weird show, and I know like 3 seasons, and it's kind of a. I don't even know what's going on with it. I don't know if Shannon and I will watch it together. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe tonight, if the kids don't come over, we'll watch an episode. We'll watch the first episode again so she can get an idea of what's going on. But her nurse friends at work talk about how they've watched it in season 2 and still don't really know what's going on. To me, there doesn't seem like anything going on. It's just like a day in a life of people who were at a very expensive resort and like how like behind the scenes of how the resort people treat you. It doesn't seem like it's real life, but it's interesting nonetheless. It's like a fancy Hawaiian resort. Shauna's blood type is dark roast. Uh, Evelyn said the coffee at KPL hurt me. I have suffered traumatic kidney problems my whole life. I need low acid coffee, single sourced. I found my coffee, but I can't drink Starbucks. You can like you can bring your own coffee. I don't know. Do they have coffee makers on cruise ships? I don't know. I never been on a cruise. I have no idea. But it seems like you should be able to bring coffee on the. I mean, I don't know. They're weird. I know you can't bring alcohol on. I think you can bring like a bottle of wine. You can bring some sodas on board. But yeah, Lisa says she hasn't watched a movie in a long time. I love movies, but like I've been watching a lot of like the coming soon movies. Like, okay, so and answer me this, and maybe it's me, maybe I'm, maybe it's Maybelline, but so there's a new Predator movie coming out. There's actually two new Predator movies coming out, and I'm a huge Predator fan. Like the original Predator movie is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's an action movie. It's kind of got horror suspense. It's cool. Like the special effects are phenomenal for 1987. But the new one, there's an animated one and there's a live action one coming out. And the live action one actually has Elle Fanning as like the protagonist or whatever, like the hero. And I'm like, okay. And and I know that women can do just about anything that a man can do. But when you're talking about fighting a 7-foot alien, and Arnold Schwarzenegger almost didn't beat this thing, and then you got Elle Fanning, who's like 5'3", not strong. How is she gonna beat this thing? There's just things that's like, okay, there's suspension of disbelief. So you got suspension of disbelief. You got an alien from outer space that comes to Earth for the hunt for sport. You have to suspend your disbelief that that's an actual thing that could happen. I mean, it could. I mean, if you think about how vast the universe is, it probably does happen. Kind of cool to think about. As long as they don't come here. But even still, there's 8 billion of us. We're probably safe. Anyway, but maybe we're protected. Maybe we're like some kid's weird like experiment. We're like an ant farm or something. But anyway, just things I think about sometimes. Um, but yeah, and like I said, I am not a person that thinks because women are strong as shit. Okay, Shannon does a lot of things that I can't do. But when it comes to things like fighting 7, 8 foot tall, giant, muscular aliens, Elle Fanning is not who I picture. I'm not like, you know what? She's out first scene. Nope, done. It's just, I don't know. And I have to watch it and see how I feel about it. It's just one of those things, like, and then Shauna, it's a movie. I understand it's a movie. And you have a certain level of suspension of disbelief. But sometimes it's just not, you can't, okay? You can't. I don't know, you know. Brandon's dinner day started. Have a good one. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you so much. All this coffee talk, says Sean. I turned on my coffee pot. I'll nap later. I can drink this and then go nap. So I don't know about y'all. Andy says, my mom asked how many live streams I watch. She was shocked at how many friends I watch every week. Yeah, you'll have that. Morning, Lewis. Lewis Stone is here. Good morning. I guess I don't get the worm. He is not the early bird. Lisa says I do the same thing, but I haven't been to Costco in a while. And Sean is asking, what this decaf you speak of? It's coffee flavor that doesn't like have caffeine in it. I know it's weird, but Which Asian market did you go to in Indy? Curious. Hashtag curious. My first coffee in the AM is made with keto chow and butter. Lisa, did you get the canned hard boiled quail eggs? That's just so much wrong with that statement. Risa says, if needed, I shop after work. 5 days a week since I work at ShopRite, I get the sale items. On my day off, hubby and I go to Costco and other stores with my list. That's cool. You don't get a discount at ShopRite? There's like no like a discount on coffee and all that stuff? Caramel macchiato is the keto chow flavor of the day. Is the flavor of the day. So Evil Lynn is asking, what flavor keto chow today? So we know that it's caramel macchiato, and she's asked, do you put it in dry? Do you put it in dry? Sorry, guys. Anyway, or do you make it into a creamer? Curious minds want to know. Sometimes maple waffle, also vanilla cream. Let's see. I make it like I'm making a shake. 4 ounces butter, hot coffee, 1 scoop of keto chow. Let's see, and a teaspoon of beef gelatin. It makes a great, yummy, thick, hot shake. That sounds delicious. Risa says the only movie I've seen in the last year has been my Christmas Eve viewing of Elf. I record one every once in a while and sit down in quiet night and watch. I just watched A Working Man the other day. I had to watch that movie. It's Jason Statham, and I'm a fan. And in this movie, his name is Levon Cade. So it's weird watching the movie, and he gets a phone call, and it's his daughter's school saying, "Mr. Cade, we're calling to check up because no one's picked up your daughter today." I'm like, oh, "Mr. Cade, that's me. I'm in a movie," but not really. Making hot keto chow shake and always twist the lid to release the pressure and do not just pop the lid. That's right. Always, always, always. So Evelyn is asking, do you use coffee instead of water? She says yes. Yes, the lighter the roast, the more caffeine there is, Lisa. That is correct. No open packages. I don't know if they have coffee pots to use with my stuff. You could always take a French press, Evelyn. Bags of coffee, unopened bags of coffee, a French press. I'm sure you can get hot water on board the ship. It may take some doing, but I imagine you can get some hot coffee, hot water. Because don't they have like the little lounges and stuff kind of spread around where you can get hot water and stuff? I'm pretty sure they should. I mean, like a French press, maybe $15. I got one at a yard sale for $4, brand new in the box. Might be a thing to think about. And you can make Carl do it. I mean, you know, Shauna likes a strong medium roast, but the color of the dark roast is so satisfying. Yeah. Lisa loves the Predator movies. What about a pour over option? Sean loved the Predator movies. I mean, I'm not saying she couldn't because Evelyn says Coach Nat could take him. I'm not saying she couldn't, but she would be like coming at him from the kneecap. Okay, I mean, she's she's little. She's what, like 5'2", 5'4", something like that. And we're talking like an 8-foot predator. I mean, yeah. Shauna, it's just a movie. I know, I know. Yeah, I have a pour over. Yeah. Yeah, you can ask them to deliver hot water to your cabin. Coffee is the best. Shauna says, same, Dustin. I've done caffeine naps. You drink it and lay down, take a 15, 20-minute nap, and the caffeine hits you. Nah, not me. I'm just saying. Shelly King, my friend, is in the house. I'm so glad you are here, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for being here. Carl's in the house. I think I missed. There we go. There we go. There's Carl. One cup of coffee down. Lisa says she went to Viet Hua. Let me see where that is. I've never even heard of that place. There are two. There's one on Madison Avenue and one on 82nd Street. They're both open, but I imagine you probably went to the one on 82nd Street because that's much closer to you than the one on Madison Avenue. That's all the way on the other side of town. No discounts for associates. They say the prices are so wonderful for everyone, so we don't get extra off. Well, that's rude. But I don't think you get discounts at Costco either. But I mean, you can tell people that Levon Cade is your cousin. Dustin, and that movie was made about him. Yeah, that's right. I did ask Chuck Dixon, the author of the book, where he got the inspiration to use the last name, but he didn't respond to me. So it's what it is. He was on my friend's live stream, and I didn't ask that. I should have asked that, but I said it was cool that he's using my last name as a character, and he made a joke. He's like, "Simple?" I'm like, no. Yeah, I want to go on a cruise someday. One of these days. I mean, I don't know. It's like a 20% chance I'll ever go on a cruise. Ollie Springer says, good morning, everyone. Nick Norwich released a video today about the study saying a few foods such as light roast coffee can help suppress sugar cravings. There's so much information coming out about this food and that food, and it's so difficult to keep up with all that stuff. And I love Nick Norwich, but he gets really into the weeds, but I love him anyway. Chris says, get the OXO travel coffee maker. You can use the hot or cold water to brew and then microwave water before or the coffee after brewing if necessary. It works amazingly well. We use it on tour. It's a plunger style, works fantastic. I'll have to look that up in a little bit, Chris. Let's see. Used to wake up at 2 a.m., have a cup of coffee, and go back to father-in-law. Used to wake up at 2 a.m., have a cup of coffee, go back to sleep. Never knew how he could do that. I have to have decaf at night, or I can't sleep. My friend drove, so I don't know which one we went to. Well, I imagine if you didn't drive all the way through Indianapolis, you went to the 82nd Street store. Because I'd imagine you're up in the Kokomo area, so you guys going all the way through Indianapolis to go to the South Side store would be kind of weird. But I mean, I don't know. Back from making my keto chow coffee shake. Shauna says, all of my mugs are packed up thanks to my friend yesterday, except for two. Both are big enough to hold an entire keto chow coffee shake. Oh, that's amazing. I need to try that. I need to try that and see but I mean, all I gotta do is put hot water in it and then coffee and then the mix of that's a lot of powder. That'd be thick. thick, like 4 C's thick. Which I heat my water up, pour out, and then add my coffee shake. Oh, yeah. We do get occasional store cards, but you need to spend at least $20 purchase at Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, and Christmas like a gratitude gift. Okay. Aaron is here. Booby Goats. Booby Goats. Good morning. Happy Easter. Thank you for being here. By the way, my mug count was 88. That's a lot of mugs. Sweet. Thank you, Mr. Nashville. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Evil Lynn. I started trying to put together some clips of Evil Lynn to post. Like, then I got to put some Skeletor ones in there. You know what I mean? We got to have some fun. I got to work on that stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be fun times. Fun, fun times. That looks cool, Chris. It looks a lot different than I was expecting. Oh yes. We're like an hour and 45 minutes in, and I'm almost out of coffee. That's how the morning's going. Yeah, Sean, I want you to text that to her too, Christopher. Okay, Tiffer. Very good. I love Sundays, but for different reasons from Uncle Vernon. Uncle Vernon loves Sundays too, but not for the reasons that I do. There's no post on Sundays, but 60 of you guys watching right now, 24 on YouTube, 35 on X, one on the Rumbles. The one reason why I don't want to do to YouTube, or keep saying YouTube, Facebook, because there was like zero interaction on Facebook, zero engagement, and they're going to start deleting the live streams after a month. At least with Rumble, I can keep them up, and there's a chance that I can start growing a following over on Rumble. So, if you are a person that's on Rumble, go and give me a follow. I think I've got like 8 or 9 followers over there right now. But the good thing about Rumble is you get monetized right away. So, if you are over there, you can get it already. I will forward it to you, Evil Lynn. Go trying to send text to Evelyn and start looking at photos from the meetup and with the Hungry Horde. So I need to make Muppet pictures of some of these. Yes. Bill, or I mean, so Scott Elliott's in the house. Good morning from Colorado. Good morning, Mr. Elliott. Thank you for being here. Chris said to Evelyn, just get the coffee ground into espresso grind or use a grinder yourself and it will work wonders. Oh, fun. You can get you can get like espresso presses and stuff that are portable. It's pretty crazy. They've got all the coffee things for everybody because people be needing all the coffee. You know what I'm saying? Lewis Stone says, y'all talking about these fancy coffees, and I'm here making Folgers on a stovetop percolator. I mean, I use a tea kettle. I boil water in a tea kettle and it whistles. You know how excited the girl gets when it whistles? And then I just pour it in. I take the butter and put the butter in here. I take the espresso powder, put it in here, then I pour it in about up to right here, and put the lid on it, let it sit while I'm doing some other stuff. Then I use a milk frother to mix it all up. And then I pour my heavy cream and then the rest of the hot water and put the lid on it, let it sit for a little bit, and enjoy. Because who doesn't enjoy coffee besides Cindy? Cindy, you should really work on it because coffee's delicious. But I know you won't. But that's okay. That's okay. And with that, my coffee is empty, ladies and gentlemen. I can't even believe it. I do have this beverage here, though, so. Got too much stuff on my desk. You guys can't see it all, but it's fine. Evelyn says, my mom was a tea drinker, always had a whistle going off in our house while growing up. And Carl's checking out the OXO, so excited. Just can't hide it. And he's on vacation. She's drinking instant coffee because that's what my mom drank. And I'm a miniature version of her and found out that fact this week. So are you saying you're ready for me to close this thing down, Evelyn? You ready for me to be done? Hmm? Cindy says, if you have to doctor up coffee to drink it, why bother? That's like, you know what? If you need anything besides cheese on your pizza, why bother? You don't need pepperoni and sausage and onions and peppers and mushrooms and, all these cool things on your pizza. Why bother? You have to doctor it up. Why bother? It's like a curmudgeon, Cindy. I don't understand. I never understood that. I mean, it's delicious. And he said, she's a researcher, and so am I. Discovered that last night with her pile of papers and notes all over the place. See my office. I'm her. Shauna's right. It's an experience, and she deserves it. That's like the idea, like, if you have to add anything to coffee, if you don't drink your coffee just black, you don't even really like coffee. Excuse me? What? Hmm? What? You know? It's like if you need more than just bread for a sandwich, if you need something in the middle of it, like mayonnaise and cheese and meat, then you don't even like sandwiches. You're missing the point, Cindy. Cheese pizza is good, but you add pepperoni, sausage, fresh garlic, it's even better. Shauna says, I get black coffee in restaurants with a side of butter and a drop of sucralose. See? Yeah. Not true, Cindy, says Andy. Cheese pizza needs meat. You know, Chris says, all respect to those who like black coffee. Enjoy your hot bean water. I like happiness too much to go through that personally. I drank black coffee for years and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Black coffee has its place. And then I found, and well, I was drinking black coffee up until I started keto. And then I was putting the butter and coconut oil in it. And I just like really liked the creamy texture of the coffee. It was just something more. And then I started having heavy cream in it. Oh, there's something so good about heavy cream in coffee. I mean, ugh, so good. You know, delicious stuff. Delicious stuff. All right, so this is interesting. So I and just Googled here. I Googled keto in the news. It says recent news and research on the ketogenic diet includes studies on its potential benefits for weight loss, managing diabetes, and even certain mental health conditions. However, some research also raises concerns about long-term effects of gut health and potential heart disease risks. Here's more detailed look at the current news and research. Potential benefits: weight loss. The keto diet can promote weight loss by reducing appetite and promoting faster weight loss compared to other diets, according to a recent review in Nutrients. And there's a link to that. Diabetes management. The keto diet has been shown to help patients with diabetes improve blood sugar control and reduce insulin dosage, says Health US News. Mental health. A pilot study suggests that keto diet can improve metabolic health and even psychiatric conditions in individuals with severe mental illness. Potential for treating autoimmune disorders. Research at UC San Francisco suggests that keto diet may increase anti-inflammatory compounds in the gut, potentially helping to treat autoimmune disorders like multiple sclerosis, says UC San Francisco. Improved cardiovascular health. Some studies indicate that keto diet may improve um, lipid profiles, increasing LDL cholesterol and reducing potentially concerns about heart health, according to News Medical. Potential concerns and risks. Long-term effects. A study at UT Health San Antonio suggests that long-term keto diet may induce uh, sentience, aging in cells, particularly in heart and kidneys, according to a press release from the university. Now, I'm not arguing these, just reading them as they come along. So, gut health. Some research indicates that keto diet may reduce diversity in gut microbiome, potentially impacting colonic health and contributing to risks of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and depression. I don't think they're looking at the right stuff, and that's according to Medical News Today. Heart disease. While some studies suggest that keto diet may not increase heart disease risk, others caution about the potential for increased LDL cholesterol, as noted by Harvard Health. I wonder who paid for that study. Let's see. Nutrient deficiencies. A keto diet can be restrictive and may lead to nutrient deficiencies if a wide variety of foods are not consumed, according to Harvard Health. Again, the negative ones seem to be mostly from Harvard Health. I wonder who's paying for these studies. Other potential risks. Other potential risks include liver problems, kidney problems, constipation, and mood swings. In conclusion, the keto diet presents a complex picture of both potential benefits and risks. It's crucial to consult with a healthcare professional or registered dietitian before making significant dietary changes. especially if you have pre existing health conditions. Interesting. And we can look in, there's a study here talking about the long term ketogenic diet accumulates age cells. Realistically, don't we think that, like, especially the carnivore diet, the cells are living longer? So they're dying less. Let's see. Ketogenic diet lowers mortality by 24%. And that's the News Medical. As of October 3rd, 2024, new research highlights the ketogenic diet's ability to lower overall mortality by 24% while posing no added risk to heart health. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And again, these are just the headlines. This is not digging into any studies or articles here. We're just looking at kind of like a headline, high level, just to kind of have something to talk about here. So, Stanford Medicine pilot study shows ketogenic diet improves severe mental illness. A small clinical trial held by Stanford Medical found that the metabolic effects of a ketogenic diet may stabilize the brain. Hmm. Fox News says keto diet not linked to greater heart disease risks. Says the population of people metabolically healthy with elevated LDL due to being in ketosis are not automatically at increased cardiac risk. And is saying UC San Francisco how the keto diet could one day treat autoimmune. A study shows how the keto diet affects a microbiome in ways that may reduce autoimmune responses in the gut. So, what do you want? Do you want reduced autoimmune deficiencies or do you want a diverse gut biome? Because I don't necessarily know if a widely diverse gut biome is what we need, considering that if you reduce the gut biome, it can significantly improve autoimmune issues. So, this is based on what I'm seeing with the difference in studies. Again, I'm not a doctor, healthcare professional, registered dietitian, or anything. I'm just a weirdo with a beard on the internet. So, keto diet may cause organ damage, mouse study finds. Well, mice aren't human. So there's difference. They need a different supply of food than we do. Keto controversy. Experts say it's here to stay because it's been here longer than it's not. Anyway, experts dispel myths that highlight or miss and highlight the science behind low carb and ketogenic diets for chronic disease management. Switching to vegan or ketogenic diet rapidly impacts. So it says switching to vegan or ketogenic diet rapidly impacts immune system. NIH study finds distinct immune response occur quickly when diet changes. Mm. Yeah, interesting stuff. Here's medical news today says keto may be best for blood sugar control in the short term. Compared to the Mediterranean diet, a ketogenic diet produces more immediate beneficial changes in people with type 2 diabetes during a 12-month study. Interesting. Another one. Let's see. Dartmouth Cancer Center. The ketogenic diet in cancer. A ketogenic diet may possibly provide some benefit, especially with Gilliamos or brain cancers. Uh, Harvard Health. Should you try the keto diet? Harvard Health. It's advertised as a weight loss wonder, but this eating plan is actually a medical diet that comes with serious risks. Of course, Harvard. Vogue. It's sad when you can't trust Harvard. When Harvard is like the sketchy ideas these days. And Harvard used to be the gold standard. And I know they probably still are with a lot of things. Oh, it's just crazy. Vogue magazine, a new study suggests that keto diet may actually be, let's see, dot, dot, dot. Other studies have noted that the ketogenic diet can also lead to major vitamin and mineral deficiencies, as well as surplus of fat soluble vitamins. NPR patients say keto helps with their mental illness. Then Stanford Medicine, Yale News. Here's one from Yale. Keto diet works best in small doses, Yale researchers find. The results offer early indicators that a keto diet could, over limited time periods, improve human health by lowering diabetes risk. Yeah. I mean, these are all things that we generally find to be true anecdotally. I have to say anecdotally. And Chris is agreeing with me. That's a texture, kind of flavor too thing for me. I don't need it sweet, but the creamy texture takes the edge. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I don't want my coffee sweet at all. Sweet coffee is not good for me. I don't like it very much. I like cream and butter, and it's amazing. Andy says butter and keto brains makes coffee awesome. I still haven't tried. I still haven't. I still haven't tried keto brains. I have some. Dead air. Was there dead air? Did you not hear me when I was reading that stuff? I don't know. I tried a sample pack and I had the keto brains and it massively messed with me. Anyone else? I've never tried it. He said it tasted good, but my body and brain did not enjoy it. Very interesting. Keto said, Carl said, my first cup of the day gets keto brains and a touch of sweetener to cut the bitterness of the mushrooms. Other than that, it's black coffee for me unless I crave dessert coffee. Then I add heavy whipping cream and stevia. Shauna says, I haven't, Chris, but I also don't put a full serving into my coffee. I'm contributing my upper level belly to cortisol and not my keto brain. Stress makes me look heavier than I actually am. The weather here has prevented me from taking any kind of walk. Mom lives next to a sports complex, but I haven't walked to it all week long. Mushrooms is not equal to coffee, just me. I'm like a spongy water fungus. I'm not a spongy water fungus fan. Who sponsored what? Andy says, I added allulose to my coffee and I have not seen any changes to my weight loss yet. It's probably going to take a little while. Chris is saying, I agree, Shauna. Ash is allergic to mushrooms, so I don't keep the stuff like that around anyway. But it was here and it was weird how it affected me negatively. Yeah, maybe you're allergic to mushrooms too. Janelle is here. Good morning, Janelle. Happy Easter. I wish I could stay and chat, but I'm off to church. Well, be safe, have fun, and enjoy your day. Shauna says, I used to say I was allergic to mushrooms just to avoid. I don't like mushrooms. I prefer not to have them. I mean, some like umami mushroom flavor in the background may be okay, but it's the texture of the mushrooms themselves I'm not a fan of. Holly says, Dr. Westman discussed the keto gut health study. I agree with him. It's comparing apples to oranges. What the gut needs on a keto to, yeah, then different from sad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chris says to Andy, how long have you been adding allulose? How much? May not work for you, but definitely kicked my butt into gear again. Yeah, Carl says keto brains contains lion's mane. To be clear, it is not mushroom coffee. Yeah, it's got coffee in it or whatever, or it's got some. Yeah, I don't know. Shauna's not having it. Andy says just 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon, a little over 3 weeks. I was trying to put it in a Shander's coffee in the morning, but I forgot because I put the bag away and I forgot about it. Out of sight, out of mind. That's why I like. There'll be things that we use every day. I keep on the counter because if I put them in the cabinet, I'll forget about them. Because I told you I'm not smart. I'm just a guy here with a beard on the internet. I added it the day you and I talked. And Chris is saying, have you checked the effects on your blood sugar by using it to see if it's having any impact? Carl says 80% of immune system health comes from the gut. Healthy gut biome, the right bacteria, not just more. Right, right, right. Let's see. Andy says it doesn't raise me after being sick for 3 months. My blood sugar levels were over 120. Now they were back under 100 average. So that's good. I was wearing a CGM in March and April, and it showed me as a lot of data. Yeah, yeah. Chris says that's a great start. As that heals more over time, you may find movement again. I have the benefit of not having high blood sugar, so using it is probably more of a lowering benefit, I think. Yeah. When I first started drinking coffee, it was fairly light and sweet. Now I'm up to a half a scoop of Keto Brains daily minerals and at times allulose syrup. Lisa loves mushrooms, and Christian Delorme is in the house. Good morning, my friend. Bonjour, everybody. Late night, late morning. Well, I'm glad you are here, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Sean says, trying something new this morning using Cindy's Keto Chow waffle recipe to make Keto Chow donuts using raspberry cheesecake. Oh, yeah. Sounds delicious. Andy likes mushrooms too. Great with steak. Blech. Steak is good, mushrooms bad. Steak is good, mushrooms bad. Steak is good, mushrooms bad. Lewis Stone says, I looked at the Harvard low carb study from 2003. After scrubbing through it, they are really secret about who funded it. Personally, that puts the study way low on my list. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know that Harvard's already lied to us before about sugar. So they blamed, fats and meat over sugar because the sugar artists you pay them to say that. So it's hard to take a study seriously from Harvard when we know their past, you know? But the weird thing is like Harvard is and has always been in the minds of people the gold standard. If you can get into Harvard, I mean, Harvard's hard to get into. Harvard's a hard school to get into. Yale's hard to get into, you know. UC Berkeley, all these are hard to get into schools, from my understanding. Yes, and yes, indeedy. But anyway, oh, there's a Harvard medical branch, Harvard Medical School. There's Harvard Law and Harvard Medical. I think you can go to Harvard for all kinds, like Harvard Business. Let's see. There's Harvard Law, Harvard Medical. Let's see, Harvard Divinity School, Harvard College, Harvard School of Dental. I don't think those are all the actual Harvard, but I don't know for sure. Harvard University schools. How much does Harvard cost? All of it. All of your monies. Yes. So Harvard Law, Harvard Medical. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sadly, no university studies remain neutral. I mean, it's hard for any study to remain neutral. I mean, because humans have biases. We're all biased to some degree. Nobody's perfectly neutral in anything. I mean, none of us are 100% this way or this way. There's no way for us to be 100. None of us are 100% impartial. We're humans. We don't know all the information. We can't know all the information. And, the best we can do is the best we can do. And Chris said, this is why Dr. Westman is so valuable for the community. He gets the university study aspect and can shed light on how it works and help keto push into that world to combat the crap. Yeah, so I mean, he's doing his thing and he's doing it out of Duke University, which is another, I Duke is Ivy League, if I'm not mistaken. It's an Ivy League school right up there with Stanford and Yale and Harvard and Rutgers and all that stuff. But you know, it's just you just got to look at every study and kind of like, why? How do they get to that? You got to dig into the study, and you can't be like, you can't take every study at face value. And there are content creators out there who take every study out there and don't even bother. It doesn't even seem like they bother to break them apart. They're the ones that call, people the keto zealots and they're like, oh, calories in, he's a calorie in, calorie out, bro, or whatever. You know. It is fascinating to me that if you're looking at calories and knowing you're eating a standard American diet and you're creating a lot of waste. I wonder if you put that waste into one of those calorie burning machines, how many calories would be in there? Because I don't think anybody's taking into account the waste the body creates and how many calories aren't actually processed by the body. It's kind of like we know there are fibers that are in food that the body can't break down. So we know that there are certain fibers that we can subtract from what we're eating when we're looking at net versus total carbs. But we also know that not everybody is the same because not everybody, because some people allulose will spike their blood sugar, some people it won't. Some people chalk zero will just throw their sugars into outer space, and some people it won't. There's certain people that can eat the zero carb tortillas and be just fine and maintain a healthy weight and not get bloaty and all that stuff. Everybody's a little bit different, you know. I don't know. But we take whatever. Jackson, I love the Muppet thumbnail. I'm glad you called me Dustin instead of Butston. Anyway, that's our oldest boy. He's here. I love the Muppet. Did you see last week the thumbnail was a action figure. They say leather pants, but I mean it's an action figure, so they're plastic pants no matter what. But I need to try to make an action figure of Chris because Ash made one for herself. I need to make one for Chris. Let me see what kind of fun things we can come up with. Needs a guitar and a whisk. I imagine he came in, said that, and rolled on out like roll tide. Because he's probably on his way to work, or if not at work. But if you are still listening, we are trying to get together for tonight for family dinner. You haven't been over in a while, so come on over. Mom misses you. You know how it is. we don't see our boys very much. And well, I the boys live in the next room, and I don't still don't see them, but maybe 2 minutes a day, which is nice because it would be like 2 minutes a week or 2 minutes every other week. And now they live in the house, and I barely see them. But I love my boys. Um, but yes, yes, indeed, boys and girls. Two people watching over on Rumble currently. That's pretty awesome. If you are watching on Rumble, say hello. I don't even know. I put everything in there to see if I get comments. I don't even know if comments will come through over here or not. So say hi. And if I see it, Chris says, wait, if Dustin is a Muppet, does that mean Shander's hand is up his backside controlling him? Have we been talking to Shander all these years? Yes. Yes. I am her alter ego. She does control me a lot more than people know. But, isn't that how relationships work? No, but I haven't made her into a Muppet yet. I need to. I need to make her into a Muppet. Muppet Babies. So, um, oh, that was different because the other day, like I was watching the Chris and Ash, they were talking about like bouncing here and there and everywhere, and I was like, gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. We are the gummy bears. It was I don't know. Did you guys ever see that, Ash and Chris? Did you ever watch the gummy bears? They would bounce around with gummy berry juice, and then there was the Duke, and like the little goblins would be like, "Okie dokie, Dookie," and be like, "Don't call me Dookie." I love cartoons. Oh my goodness! And then I had the girl at one point in time really into watching Thundercats, and we watched Thundercats. We watched like 80 episodes of Thundercats. I didn't even know there were that many episodes of Thundercats. There are so many weird there's so many weird cartoons in the 80s. There was like Thundercats. There was Silverhawks. They were like these futuristic cowboys, and they had like these laser guns with like these they were like horses, but they were like floating like rocket horses. It was weird. Oh my goodness. They've never seen gummy bears. Oh no. At least have to you at least have to like see the intro. I'm sending this to you, Chris. It'll make so much more sense to Ash because I knew that she didn't know it because I did a super chat and was like gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. She just I was like, I guess she hasn't, I still want I want a legitimate Thundercat sword, like a real sharp one, like legitimately. I'd love that. I don't think I ever saw the Great Space Coaster, but I remember there was a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, there was a Rubik's Cube cartoon, there was a Nintendo cartoon where like the kid's belt buckle was a Nintendo controller and he carried a zapper, and then there was like a Cubert cartoon. There was a cartoon about a boy when he got hot, he would turn into a car, and if he got cold, the car got cold, he would turn back into a boy. Yeah, tons and tons of cool cartoons in the 80s. Lisa said there were 4 seasons of Thundercats. And weird thing is, Thundercats is Rankin and Bass. So the people who made all of our Christmas favorites, Rankin and Bass, they made Thundercats. That'll blow your hair back. Well, then there was like the Smurfs, and then there was the Snorks, which were the Smurfs underwater. The funny thing about the Smurfs, though, the Smurfs is the only time in the history where communism works. Just saying. It's like a perfect there's like everybody so that every person has a job. Nobody makes money. They all live in harmony. So basically the Smurfs is what would be considered perfect communism. And I think they did that on purpose or maybe it was by accident. I don't know. Speed Racer, Johnny Quest, yeah, Strawberry Shortcake, Thunder the Barbarian. There was George of the Jungle, strong as he can be. I don't know. So if they can make a movie about Transformers, they can make a Thundercat movie. They probably have tried. Um, I'm curious on how they would make Chitara. That first episode of Thundercats is weird because they are not wearing clothes. Um, Transformers more than meets the eye. I don't remember Great Space Coaster. Let me look this up. But I remember Catch the Pigeon, Catch the Pigeon. The Great Space Coaster. I can't watch any of this right now just for the fact that I'm on live and it'll totally mess me up. But yeah. So we can look at like all the weird 70s, like the Banana Splits, the Bugaloos, HR Puffin stuff, the Wombles, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, the Electric Company, Fat Albert, Captain Kangaroo. Weird, weird shows. Weird shows. Scooby Doo. Yeah, the girl was like addicted to Scooby Doo, and there was like a newer Scooby Doo show that was on Netflix. I think it's gone now, but it had like some great voice acting on it. Some big people acting in that. Shauna said some of my first words were Scooby Doo. Inspector Gadget. Doodle doodle doo 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 doodle doo doodle doo. They made a movie and it was not good. Lisa's like, dang, Dustin, you're bringing back some memories. Sean says my favorite action cartoon was Robotech. It was one of the first anime cartoons. The great flashback with KetoSimple. I'd do that. Rocky and Bullwinkle, Speed Racer, Roadrunner. Meep meep. And I used to love what was I going to think here? Mask. Do you guys remember Mask? Mask was an amazing show. It wasn't very many episodes, so it's probably why it's not any kind of syndication. So, not to be confused with the Eric Stoltz film, but Mask the cartoon was it was let's see. Well, that's way big. So basically, Mask was a show basically to sell these action figures. They had some of the coolest toys. I loved them. So Mask is an acronym for Mobile Armored Strike Command. They had to spell command weird, but whatever. And there was Venom, an acronym for Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem. Yeah, it was a cool show. There were 2 seasons, 75 total episodes. 2 seasons were broadcast from September 85 to November 86. The first season consisted of 65 episodes. The second season, whose theme de emphasized crime fighting in favor of auto racing, lasted only 10 episodes. The crime fighting aspect is what was cool about it because all their vehicles would look like street vehicles and then they would do, yeah. Chris says, to this day, I can sit and watch Scooby Doo or Winnie the Pooh for hours on end. Almost 37, and it's still one of my favorite things to do. Ash says, we got to get ready to get dressed for church. Happy Easter. Chris is saying the same thing. Got to get dressed and ready for church so I don't get in trouble. I love all y'all. Happy Easter. Love you guys. Be safe. Have fun. Care Bears down at Fraggle Rock. Oh, coffee Care Bear. Yes, 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 yes. Voltron was one of those. Lewis says Ash isn't here undressed. What kind of live is this? Hey, it's daylight where I'm at. I don't know about anybody else. But anyway, I think with all of this, 2.5 hours, it's Easter. Go enjoy your family time, enjoy time with your spouses, have some more coffee. I'm empty. I have no more coffee, but I just want to say I love each and every one of you. I hold this time we spend together every week so dear to my heart. You're precious. Time that you spend with me, I love every second of it. We have a good time every week. I love you guys. Here we're going to go off with the outro. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you on Tuesday, maybe before. Maybe I'll do a live tomorrow night. You never know. I might surprise you. But anyway, with that, I love you. Have a great one. I'll see you Tuesday.